We're turning now to our breaking news out of Afghanistan. Officials say at least 31 people have been killed in a suicide bombing. Joining us now is Ali Latifi, a journalist in Kabul. Ali, what more are we learning about this?
So basically, the voter registration center was targeted early in the morning, and we're getting pictures of people who were injured in the attack, of people who had obviously, people need jobs, and so they're starting to register to work in these registration centers. And basically what we're seeing is that it's again yet another attack on civilians in the capital.
And this has been a second attack on a voter registration center. Why in particular are these centers being targeted?
So, I mean, you can always, the armed opposition, whatever group decides to take responsibility. At this point, the Taliban has denied any responsibility. They can always claim that, the people registering people to vote are government representatives. They can also claim that they have no faith or no interest in the democratic process in terms of these elections. So that's why they get targeted. But in reality, what we see is that despite those sorts of accusations or people coming out and saying it's an attack on democracy, what we're really seeing is that it's an attack on civilians, because these are ordinary people waiting to register to vote. And, these voting registration centers, they'll be in mosques, they'll be in schools, they'll be in places that, are frequented by civilians and that, are really, they're not government facilities at all.
You say the Taliban has denied responsibility. I saw one report that ISIS may have claimed responsibility. Does this look like the work of ISIS?
It could be. I mean, generally, when so-called ISIS groups attack things in Afghanistan, it's usually not for these sorts of political purposes. They haven't necessarily really come out in favor or against the election. They have targeted government facilities. I think the idea that it could be ISIS has to do with the fact that it was in Western Kabul, which is in the west of Kabul, which is a mainly Shia area and has been targeted by Daesh several times in the past.